The cabinet vetting of Cabinet Secretary of Sports nominee in Kenya, Mr. Ababu Namwamba. And one of the things that he was putting his nomination up upon was that among the first 100 days, he says he's going to put back to make sure that Kenya gets back, the federation gets reinstated back by FIFA. Another thing that he mentioned was that the badminton association in Kenya has been banned by the National Federation. The swimming association in Kenya has been banned by the International Federation. Sorry. Wow. Another thing is also that he mentioned the number of increase in doping stories in Kenya, especially in the athletes field, and he said these are things that he's going to take care of. He also did mention that he's going to put more emphasis onto the grassroots development of sports in all manner of sports. And the sports, he just didn't mean just soccer, he meant all the sports in the country. True. He did take an advantage of pointing out to countries like England, where they have the St. George's Academy, and these other countries where they put emphasis on the academies. And they just want to bring this, to do a comparison here. You see, you saying that Tanzania, you're hoping you see a more improvement in the schools when it comes to sports. While in Kenya, they shifted the grassroots development and put more emphasis into the sports, whereby most schools are only played during the sports are played during the school's term. Yes, we've seen an involvement in both boys and girls, but after schools, when they go home, there's nowhere else for the kids to go play. There's no academies, there's no nothing. So, just a question, and I'll start by this, by Uno. Bandio is calling for more involvement in schools to improve the development of sports in the grassroots levels in Tanzania. Yeah. Do you see that with the CS nominee deciding that he wants to concentrate on not only just schools but also building more youth academies, is going into the right direction in the future and betterment of sports, whereby it becomes more of a government running than just federation running on the development of these different sports?
Let me say this. I think, and we've had this discussion before, because if you guys remember, there's a time how sports used to be. I think used to start not even provincial, divisional, like they used to be like local, then you yes. climb on up. And that way you'd actually get the best of the best. So like if you are in Embu district, so you start the local schools, Kidogo, then you compete inter-schools, and then you sort of sieve the best. So the best keep on moving until you get to provisional, then from provisional, now you go to nationals.
Correct.
And I think that would be the most ideal, that would be the best ideal, the best way to even actually now source talent and get talent. Because from now there, you can get either the best runners, the best rugby players, the best cricketers, tennis, whatever. Yes, I think
once you have them, what do you do with them?
Now, and that's where I was going with this. I think also then you start having. Now, this is where I don't know, and maybe Mika can enlighten us. If the government takes over, instead of the federation, the government, I don't know how that would be. If you privatize it, like now, for example, let's say
the government works with the federation.
Okay.
What the government does is the government assists in building and running of academies.
Okay.
We will say, for example, the way you see the English FA has the St. George's Academy, which works through the whole age groups, of the soccer system. But now this is something that is funded by the government and the FA. So the government is there to ensure the FA has the monies to run that facility to the best of how it's supposed to be run.
And that way, and from there, if that works that way, and if I guess Ababu can actually have that facilitated, why not? Because you're getting the best of the best, that these persons now will actually move on either international, not only will they represent the country, but now they can also now flourish and go out there.
They can go pro.
They can go pro
or whatever. And the system that we traditionally used in Kenya had been where you had that sort of thing, but then it was companies that ended up being the so-called nurturing base, where you found a lot of institutions like banks, like the utility companies, you know,
breweries, whatever, private companies,
army, police, whatever.
Yes.
They all had teams.
Yes.
And those and basically what they did is, because of your athletic talent, you got a job.
Yes.
And as long as you are an athlete who was really good, you
Yes.
knew you could get a job in any one of these particular institutions. At some point,
Yes.
you may end up representing the country.
Right.
And maybe one day, if you're lucky, then you go pro.
Yes.
At that
maybe.
point. But there needs to be an academy type system.
Yes, I'm
you know,
in total agreement with that.
where you have I don't know, junior Gor Mahia or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Where you put them in there, and you know that it's a farm system where I know that, okay, we have all these soccer players, we have them in here, God has got them and has put them in here, and they know that once they come out of here, 9 times out of 10, they'll be picked up either by Gor or AFC or another, any one of the other teams that's in the league. But those are things that we don't have, and there needs to be some sort of better owners put into it, more money put into it, as well as also looking into our national teams.
But yeah, because also I think we wait for sports until we're in high school to nurture.
Yeah.
Which is Madhogodhanyo, because some kids, and I think we're having this discussion some time back this year too, how, you know, at some point kids get lost.
Yes.
I think I was listening to some soccer agents, different interview, where at some point, you know, you find out, let's say Mubelwa, like when he's in Primo, this guy is good.
It's really, yes.
But then after a while, he disappears because there's nobody nurturing that talent. There's nobody getting that talent.
It dies naturally.
It dies.
Yes, because you're like, hey, life has kicked in.
Yes.
My grades need to be up.
Yeah.
The